like this book or whatever where women will intentionally test a man to see like what his emotional maturity is like in situations. And not to say that like that's what everyone does, but like I think women subconsciously do it in terms of like what does safety feel like with this person if I am in an emotional state.
Yeah, it's true. But women aren't the litmus test for that.
The what?
They aren't the litmus test.
But I'm saying that
You
they
know what
do
litmus
it.
test is, right?
They do
You
it.
know what litmus test is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. They're not the litmus test. They have an idea, but they have a sense of it, but they're not fully, they don't fully know know what
But
that is.
they no, and it's like I think it's not even intentional. Like I said, it's more so in a sense of like gauging, right? Like because the reality is like if a man is actually secure and to be able to like not necessarily go into hell, like why would she ever continue to do it? Like, cause she's just like, oh, he's not even gonna join the ring with me.
Right. And a lot of times women,
This narrative she's trying to pull here, and this is Hassan, by the way. He was guest hosting for Joel Friday this past Tuesday. I don't know his last name. He just goes by Hassan, and he decided to have a guest appearance by his girlfriend. Her name is Stacy. Seems like a nice lady, but this narrative she's trying to pull, where females subconsciously, quote unquote, kind of shit test men, and she called it gauging, and it really is shit testing, where they try to see what they can get away with in terms of trying to get a man upset or angry or whatever. She'll act like a brat, act like a child, and I don't know if she does this, but she wrote a book. I don't know what the book's called. It doesn't matter. But she's trying to frame it as, oh, women are doing this subconsciously, and that may be so. Like, I'm not gonna. That's not off the table. I'm sure they do it subconsciously. I've said it before. The females can smell a weak man from a mile away. That is completely subconscious. But it's also on the forefront of the consciousness when a woman picks a man and they just know he's weak already. So it's like she just wants she just wants a little boy to command and trot over, and a lot of women do it on purpose. So it's not any form of gauging, quote unquote, like this lady claims it to be. It's not all subconscious. A lot of times it is on the forefront of women's consciousness that they're doing these things to men. And the thing is about it, um, a lot of women think they're gods, so it's like they think they have the capacity to shit test. Like they think they have the knowledge, they have the wisdom, they have the meta knowledge, they know the future, they can predict all sorts of things, and it's like they do these little tests as if they have some kind of meta knowledge to know if their test is even relevant or accurate. Like, for instance, it's hard to give an example really, but a woman could, like I said, act like a child just to see how the man reacts, and if he overreacts, then well, he's a weak man, and if he does react, well, he's overbearing and he's a tyrannical king. Like I said before, I've talked about the tyrannical king and the benevolent king, like two archetypes of a man. And we got another beta male situation, so it's like I don't know what to call that yet. That's a new archetype, but I think it's not so new, to be honest, because you'll see beta men in the Bible as well. It's kind of funny. Um, who get with these women who just trot all over them. But I left a comment, and from far as I can tell, it hasn't been shadow banned or shadow deleted or whatever goes on, because I'm actually on my post plays channel looking at it from that channel, and it's still there, so that's a good sign. And what I put here was just gonna read it off. Gauging, quote unquote. This is horse crap. Honestly, women don't have the capacity to even be honest enough to objectively test a man. If the situation were reversed, she wouldn't appreciate it coming from a man, which they wouldn't. Like, women don't want men to shit test them. Like I say here, it's childish and juvenile. It's childish and juvenile to test your boyfriend or husband in this manner. Please grow up. And I do mean that, because it's very very I had a discussion with a coworker. This guy I'm working with named Ridge. He seems like a cool guy. But we were talking about relationship stuff, and I brought up the fact that women, well, not women, but girls, let's say girls, when they become teenagers, they tend to mature a little quicker. because their bodies, develop a lot faster than men's do. Men don't really, like, guys will hit puberty around the same age, but they won't mature until way later, up until, like, all the way up until age, at the latest, like age 23, 24, 25. That's just the facts. Where girls tend to, their bodies and their minds tend to mature around the teenage years, which is 13, 14, 15. And there is this narrative going around when I was in school. It's like, oh, women or girls mature faster than men. That just means they're more mature. It's like, no, no, no. That's bullshit, because it's like these girls stay in that infantile mindset. I'm not saying all. I know I have female viewers. I don't mean all. Y'all know that already. But it's like a matter of fact that a lot of these girls, a lot of these women out in the workforce, out in the world, on the public, on politics, are still acting like little teenagers. Like, it's so apparent, especially in my what was it, 90 Seconds to Midnight video, where it really came off as like teenagers planning a high school prom. It's like that level of just immaturity. Just like, I don't know how else to really describe it. It's just these girls, they just stay at the mental age of 15 because they're pampered and spoiled all their lives. They just never grow up. It's like if you ever own cats, like, cats do not grow up. If you have an indoor cat and you raise it from a baby, I have 3 cats that I've raised from infants, and they're permanent kittens. They just act like kittens all the time. The vocalizations, like, cats don't meow in the wild. They only meow for their mothers. So if your cat meows at you, that means it sees you as a parent figure. That's just the way it is, and that's how women are to the degree. They're like cats in a way, where they just don't develop mentally. They don't mature, and like I said, not all. So don't get offended. That's just the cold hard facts. And the sad part is, a lot of men are turning out that way too, and it's a damn shame, because the world is like just turning into hell because of that. Keep reading. Why not work on yourself and examine why you have the need to be in these over emotional states rather than pulling others into your hell? It's a man's job to pull you out of that misery, but it is not the requirement for him to step into your hell. And that's the thing. That's the point she was kind of trying to make, where she's shit testing her man to see if he'll go into her hell instead of him trying to pull him out. Earlier in the interview, she kind of talks about, well, she does feel like it's the man's job to be more rational and to pull her out of her hell. But at the same time, later on, like what I just played now, she feels as if the man should go into her hell as well, in order to in order to make her compliant, or prove something, some fucking arbitrary, like some arbitrary requirements that only she knows, but she doesn't really know because she's doing it subconsciously. Do y'all see how stupid this gets? The more you pull hairs, or whatever the phrase is. It's like these women just love staying in their hell, and they expect everyone around them to just give in. They expect them to just go into their hell and to deal with it, and when a man tries to pull them out of their hell, they'll just go, oh, well, they're being they're being overbearing, and they're not really listening. They're not listening to my feelings and whatever. You guys, we need to come back to God, y'all. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, it's so cheesy to say it that way, but it's like, what the hell, man? It's like this lady. I don't know their relationship, Hassan and this lady Stacy. She seems like a nice lady. I'm sure she's nice, but it's like, does she just trot all over this dude? I mean, I like Hassan a lot. He's a cool guy. He's Arab. He's got that olive skin. You know what I'm saying? Like, he seems like I wanted to say a sweet guy. That's a bad sign. Where it's like a little too nice. Kind of giggles too much. It's like, oh my god, dude, come on. But he's cool. Check out Joel Friday, I guess. Hassan's got music, like I said here. The beat at the beginning was great. I think he makes pretty good music. He cusses a lot, so be prepared for that if you do look him up. I don't know if he has a link here. He just goes by Hassan. I don't know if he has a last name. Of course, he has a last name, but uh, he didn't link his YouTube channel or nothing. But I've listened to his music before. It's all right. Anyway, guys, that's all from me. Have a good night. Bye bye.